Hello, today we are going to learn about linear relations and their graphs. So in my first question, we have a relation between triangles and toothpicks. Okay? Now, if we want to find the relation, the first thing we should always do is make a table to help us understand what is happening. So I have right here, our first triangle is made up of how many toothpicks? 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to put that in my table. One triangle is equivalent to 3 toothpicks. Now let's take a look at, we have 2 triangles. So here's 2 triangles and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 toothpicks. Now our last one is with 3 triangles. How many toothpicks do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 toothpicks for 3 triangles. Okay? So the next step is, if we remember, is we are going to make a formula based on our table. Well, what is the pattern here? I look at this, every time the triangles go up by 1, the toothpicks go up by 2. So the amount of toothpicks, which I'm going to just say is y, is equal to 1 multiplied by 2. Okay? Because we have to multiply the triangles by 2, and then we have to add something to get the number of toothpicks. So 1 multiplied by 2 is equal to 2, and 3 is 1 off. 2 multiplied by 2 is equal to 4, and 5 is 1 off. So my formula is actually going to be y is equal to 2x plus 1, okay, where y is my triangles and x are my toothpicks. So now we want to graph this result. So the first step is to plot all the points on the graph. So this is what our points would look like. They would look something like this. Now I'm going to explain to you how I got these. So the first one is we have one triangle, 3 toothpicks. And remember, I said my triangle is x. So I'm going to go 1 over and 3 up. Okay? Because my triangles are x and my toothpicks are y. The next one, if we looked at the table, is 2 and 5. So I go 2 over and then 5 up. And my third one is 3 and 7. So that is going to be 3 over and 7 up. And then we get our points. Now the next part is all we have to do is we're going to connect the points into a graph that looks something like this. And now I have everything graphed. Okay, so you take a ruler and you connect the points. Now, here's our next part. We want to match the equations to their graphs. Now if we go back to this one here, if I look at this, my 2x, my formula was y is equal to 2x plus 1. So every time I go here over 1, I must go up 2. Because when y goes over by 1, or when x goes over by 1, y increases by 2. Right? So in other words, when we increase one triangle, we get 2 more toothpicks. Increase one triangle, 2 more toothpicks. And that is called our slope, and that's how we get the slope. So let's go back to this here. So the first one is we have this line here, and I want to know what that is. So every time my x increases by 1, my y increases by 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be 3x. Because we move by 1, we go up 3. Move by 1, go up 3. So it's going to be 3x. And it's plus 4. Well, let's see, that must be this one or this one. Well, we go over 1, 2. And so my first one is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So then I must be adding always this. So this graph, this equation matches this graph. Now my next one here, we take a look at it. Every time I go up over 1, I go up 2. So my x increases by 1, y will increase by 2. So I must multiply my x by 2 to make my y. So it's going to have to be this one. And we start at -2, so that's going to match with this one here. And that is how we match linear equations to graph, and that's how the equation relates to a graph.